Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, October 4th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol EVGO, very big mover today, and now a good solid pattern here has formed. So let's get this pattern drawn into play here. So first key area of this pattern right here at this resistance area, which sits right there. And then bottom part of the pattern, we have this uptrending trend line. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then to make the pattern easier to see, let's keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right there. If you golfers try to make it a little bit more visually appealing, put the golf hole down here, and this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure or guaranteed the price is going to go upwards, but it's certainly a plausible thought to have. And, you know, if the price consolidates around here and comes up and breaks up through it, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, that break to the upside of the pattern could create additional buying pressure in and of itself. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, ELAB, big mover today, big volume, and now a nice little pattern here has formed. And this is one of my favorite patterns, so let me get it drawn into play. There's the support part of the pattern. Here is the resistance portion of it. And this would be a falling wedge pattern. And not only is it a falling wedge, it's actually a falling wedge, which in a bullish context, the bullish context being the gap up here. Now, I realize that if you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 3 minutes, from that standpoint, the context is not bullish. This is a very bad looking situation. So I'm making these comments based on somebody that cares about more of a bigger picture point of view. So again, with the gap up, and then you get this nice falling wedge pattern, definitely an interesting scenario, especially if you like penny stocks. Next one, MLGO, and I like this one quite a bit. Also, just based on the pattern, how we have a nice, slow, upwards moving trend line right there, which, I'll change to green. So you can see right there has done a fantastic job of just forecasting where all the various bounce points have been. And then in terms of areas of resistance, I think up here, and this is what I catch my eye. I think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very, very similar to that. And I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same general area and wondering the same general things, as I mentioned earlier, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, more than plausible to think that if the price comes up here and breaks up through the upper part of that trend line right there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like these sorts of scenarios and you like penny stocks with good solid volume, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, NIO, and this one has decided to pull back a bit more today. Now, the one thing that has occurred that it's been a very long time since the last time it occurred is that the price has now gotten down below the purple line there, the 50-period moving average. Now, that in and of itself does not mean the entire chart's ruined or destroyed, but it does create a little bit bigger of a question of, okay, maybe, just maybe, this pullback is now starting to get a little bit more bearish and is going to need to get a bit deeper. So that's the main question in my mind is, okay, what does today actually represent? Today, again, main function of it being now that the price is down below that purple line. Is there more pullback to come? We'll have to see how the next few days ultimately play out. The one indicator here that I would say is definitely a sign that the bulls have lost some of their control is if the price were to come down to that area of support right there at $6.40 and then have the price break below there. Again, that doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed, but it would be kind of confirmation that, yeah, today's pullback here it really is a significant move as far as the bearish strength is concerned. In terms of levels of resistance, I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this area down and now focus on that 695 mark as a key area of resistance. But in my opinion, at least, top priority right now is not necessarily breaking levels of resistance. It's all about making sure that this pullback doesn't spin out of control and get too deep. Next one, NVDA, and a very, very nice pattern, one that you've already heard me talk about, so I'm going to go through it a little bit quicker. But the one thing to note here is NVIDIA, very, very, very popular stock. So when you have these patterns where a lot of people are watching them, then it just really, it makes that whole idea of a self-fulfilling prophecy not guaranteed, but that much more plausible. So what is a pattern here that I think a lot of people have drawn? Well, I think a lot of people have started off with a trend line very similar to that. And then I also think a lot of other people have drawn, just because I can't help it, let's make it a little bit more even. There we go. Have drawn another line like that. Let me change that to green. And then resistance, support, nice upwards move, golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern on a very, very well like stock, and a stock that a lot of people watch. So if the price can come up here and break up through it, then very, very plausible to think that that break could create that much more buying pressure. We'll see how it closes out the week on Friday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to sign up. Now, one note, it is genuinely live. So maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this video Friday morning and you totally missed it. That's okay. Go ahead, send me an email, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, ticker symbol TIGR, and the upwards move continues, higher highs and higher lows. And what I find pretty interesting about this one now is that this trend line right here seems to really be playing quite a bit of a role in things as an upwards resistance trend line. And the interesting, these sorts of trend lines are always interesting because in theory, the price could never ever break above that line, but the price could still remain in an uptrend. So just keep that in mind about those levels. Is it's not like this is pressing the price down or anything like that, but it has done a very good job of forecasting where the sellers have decided to step in. So keep an eye on that trend line moving forward. In terms of levels of support, the ideal level, when you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay right there above $8.50. But if the price falls below there, not the end of the world. It's not like the chart's epically destroyed or anything like that, because that is where the purple line here comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword certainly being moving. I understand the price is way up here. That line's way down there. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So yes, best case scenario, price stays above 850. But even if the price falls below it, as long as the price stays above that purple line, then overall the bulls are in full control of the trend. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and yeah, very rough day on this one as the price is now broken down through a very important technical level, that being the pink line here, which on my chart represents the very famous 200-period moving average. You can see yesterday did a fantastic job of holding strong, and then even this morning it tried to hang on, but ultimately the bears went out, and now a bigger move to the downside. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. And the first key, not necessarily update, but just observation here based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So any sort of attempted bounce back in the upwards direction, public enemy number one, now going to be all about that pink line, 200-period moving average, currently valued at, we'll call it right around $244.30. So keep an eye on that if the price does try to bounce. But with the downwards pullback here, where are some next potential areas of support? Next area to keep a close eye on support-wise, going to be right there at the 236 mark. So 236, next key level. If the price falls below there, then that would just be further evidence that this pullback is really no longer a pullback, and you would start to really need to discuss, is this a full-blown reversal? Next one, KXIN. I did this yesterday in yesterday's top 10 video. And I was talking about how, yeah, this area here probably going to be pretty difficult there because there's quite a bit of resistance. And I mean, the chart was right for a little bit. It kind of just chopped around in this area. But as I speak right now, the price has totally cleared through that area of resistance and is now pushing highs here. And that's why I like to do these when the video or the market's still open, because you can see it's trying to push the new highs there. But point here being is it has cleared through that area of resistance very, very nicely. So I'm going to get rid of that level and that one, and then just do the first update, which you just heard me say on Tesla. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. Excuse me, on Tesla it was the reverse. Supports are broken, they tend to act as resistance. In this situation, this resistance would now tend to act as support, and it's actually already played out like that. You can see right there a little pullback right there, but consolidated before that nice move up. And that is what would now be 0.366, the ideal level of support, which you now know is, doesn't, if the price falls below there, doesn't mean the chart's destroyed, but if the price can stay above there, that would certainly be a great sign of power. But just continue to watch out purple line there, moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, the bulls are in full control. In terms of areas of resistance, basically a good problem to have. It's essentially a blue sky breakout. So you just kind of got to use your gut instincts right now, wait for maybe some sort of indecision candlestick to form. But like I said, assuming you're long, being in a blue sky breakout, not quite knowing where resistance levels could be at. Like I said, there are certainly much worse problems than that. But all in all, very, very impressive day today. Next one here, INDO, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous videos where I talked about this bull pennant. So let me just draw that into play because I know if you already had some bull pennants. So there was the bull pennant that I was talking about, and you can see this morning price got the break of that area and then finally let loose and made a very, very impressive surge to the upside. So on that note, we're basically having a case of deja vu because we have, once again, maybe you've already noticed it, a new bull pennant has formed. And that's always a good thing. If you have one bull pennant form after another bull pennant, that just means that the price is putting in higher highs and higher lows. So there is a newest resistance trend line right there. And then in terms of levels of support, we have that level right there. And then just because I can't help myself, let's just make sure everybody can see it by taking it one color. So resistance, support, new upwards move there, new golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So as this one has already demonstrated, the price can come up here and break up through there. Not guaranteed, but more than plausible to think that a break right there could lead to additional buying pressure. Next one, TQQQ, and overall, it's hanging in there. It's not actually doing a whole lot over the past few days, other than just chopping around. So, I mean, just down, up, down, up, down, up, and then once again, down right here. So, yeah, just a lot of chop over basically the past 3 days here. So nothing has really changed in terms of technical levels, especially in regards to levels of resistance. $70.45 remains public enemy number one. Now, to be fair, it did actually push through there this morning, but it was not a genuine break. The momentum disappeared relatively quickly, and then back down it went. So just keep that in mind moving forward. Even if the price were to break above the 70.45 mark, I'd be a little skeptical because right here, it was acting like it was a true breakout to then just turn itself around. And then in terms of levels of support, I'm going to zoom out here. What we're starting to get here is an overall bear pennant pattern. And let me draw in the next part of this, the bottom part of this pattern actually being an uptrending trend line right there. And as I've mentioned, just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's going up. Just because something's bearish does not mean it's going up. But we have this area of resistance here. We have this uptrend right here. We have this big downwards move here. And then if I put the golf hole up here, so it's an upside down bull pennant, it is a bear pennant pattern. So again, does not mean that the price is getting ready to roll back over, but would it be shocking to see the price come down here and then get more momentum to the downside? I don't think that would catch anybody off guard that uses charts. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely go get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be this evening, Thursday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. But as I mentioned earlier, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email to clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay so you can watch it at your convenience. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So in order for this analysis to remain relevant as long as possible, I like to do longer time frames and then walk you through some key questions so that this remains relevant for as long as possible. So for those of you that have watched the past videos, you know that we've been talking time and time again about this pink line here, the 200 period moving average. And so far, so good. The price continues to hold strong. And that's where our first question comes into play. So let's just say you're watching this video 18 hours after I upload it. Question one is, where is the price at relative to 60,300? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above that level, that implies that the price is bare minimum doing some consolidating and still going sideways. And that is not necessarily a great thing, but that is at least still bullish in the sense of you can make the argument that a bottom is still in the process of forming. Whereas if you're answering the question, the price is way down here, well then yeah, it doesn't make much sense at that point to say, yeah, a bottom's still forming. So, but as of now, like I said, as long as the price is at least above that level, then you still make the argument that a bottom is in play. And then some common sense there goes a long way. If you're saying, well, yes, Clay, the price is still above that level and the price now is way up here, well, then that would be telling you that not only has it bottomed out, but it's actually starting to show some strength and good solid strength depending on how far up above the pink line it actually is. If you're saying, well, Clay, the price is down below that pink line, next question, and this is what I would call kind of the do or die level, right down there at 57,500. Where's the price at relative to there? And if somehow you're answering the question that the price is down below that level, that would just be telling you that something is broken on the chart and that the bears are not only still strong, but getting that much stronger. Again, I'd be shocked if you're answering the question that way, but nonetheless, still want to get it thrown out there. So walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep everything updated until I'm back to get things updated about 24 hours from now. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely go get signed up for this free webinar, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So go get signed up. It'll be this evening, Thursday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. And as I mentioned, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the recording. But if you can make it live, then get signed up, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. So as always, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, even if you're just saying hi, and go get signed up for that free class. Thanks for watching.